you've watched federal AI policy evolve across two administrations, Biden, Trump. What are they? What's getting better and what's getting worse?
I think now, and this is just speaking from the national scale, there's a lot to say internationally that I don't feel qualified to talk about, but it's a really interesting thing for maybe another podcast guest, is that America has really started to embrace innovation. It's hard with a new technology to kind of look through and say, what are the dangers? What are the risks? And we're at the point now where I think we recognize that this is a very disruptive and a very exciting technology. And the administration is really pushing, and I think in many, many ways, a good way, to kind of drive America towards adoption. There are a lot of concerns that I have around that in terms of energy use, data centers, a lot of things that affect people at the very local levels that I think we should be paying more attention to. And then this is where I have my disagreements with the administration and how they're pushing it and how the local considerations are being made. But I will say, from a policy perspective, there's a lot of drive towards the adoption and implementation of AI.
That is very interesting. And so how do you think that the government is positioned to, like the administration is positioned with the right skill set to push that forward? I mean, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Tristan Harris's work, but I've seen some of the conversations. I mean, he's quite fear-mongering over it. But some of the conversations where he's been and had conversations with government, and it seems like there's quite a considerable disconnect between those like with the responsibility and the ability to act and the actual understanding of the technology and the things that are being kind of discussed, if that makes sense.
I mean, but this isn't new though, is it? Right? Like there's always been a disconnect between a new and novel technology and the federal government, right? Like this is something that it takes, the federal government is a massive bureaucracy in every country, and it takes time for that organization, that bureaucracy to shift forward. And they're not like a company that has the same external pressures where shifting changes your bottom line and you can get efficiencies. The pressures come from different sources. They come from the public requesting things. They come from Congress mandating certain things. They come from the executive branch leadership saying, hey, I want XYZ to happen, whether that's an agency head leader, whether it's our Office of Management and Budget, OMB, whether it's the executive White House branch themselves saying things, one of like the senior advisors to the president. Those are the sort of people that need to initiate the change. Is there a disconnect? 100%. And it will always be there. I want to hear people more like myself within the federal government saying we need to do these things. And like I've been there for 15 years working on a bunch of different things. And being a policy entrepreneur, trying new things in the federal government is something that takes a lot of patience, right? It's something that you really have to push forward bit by bit and watch your colleagues in industry just crush it, right? Because they're like, I installed 15 new packages and I tested out some, and they crashed their network, but it's fine because we just rebuilt it from scratch, right? Like they can do all these crazy things that we don't have access to. And so you have to like work on like a measured, slow response, but still have this like drive and energy. And those are hard things to maintain in the federal government. And so any sort of program that brings in young folks or like really spirited entrepreneurial folks, that like whether they're fellowships, whether they are internships into the federal government, like here in America, we have PIFs, Presidential Innovation Fellows, we have the U.S. Digital Corps, we have the U.S. Digital Service, these kind of like fellowship programs. And we also have the U.S. Tech Force that potentially may be really, really good. These programs are the ones that are really going to kickstart innovation. They have in the past, and I think they will in the future.